Hello, welcome to August 24th, 2024. My name is Kurt, and this is my daily Good Life meditation, an exercise that I do each and every morning, a little bit after waking up, to remember my life objectives and principles. I also use this time to think about the last 24 hours and how I did with the challenges and opportunities that I met. I plan for the coming day, and I make sure that I'm ready to die. Okay, let's get started. Last night, another good night of sleep. It was a cold night, and the owners of the property warned me. They said it's going to be warm, 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 hot, hot, warm, 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 and then suddenly cold. And boy, it got cold last night. I'm going to have to dig some blankets out of the car and throw them on. Make sure the dogs are nice and warm. Yesterday was a really good, solid day of productive activities, taking care of my shopping. Had some good talks with Yumiko about some important stuff. Mostly that was the whole day, and then took the boys to Julian for their dog walk. I tried something out. I've got this one dog, Rudy, the white dog, and he's kind of a handful, not very well behaved. We've never been able to really keep him under control, and he's a bit of a tyrant. So I had this idea while I was walking him a couple of days back in Julian about trying to think, how can I train him? How can I use this time alone here to train Rudy to behave better? And I had a good talk with ChatGPT about it. And I realized that Rudy isn't very enticed by anything. You can't give him a treat, he won't eat it. The only thing that he really wants is attention, particularly my attention. So I thought maybe I could leverage my attention to him in a way that could begin to train him. And so I started doing that during our walks, our evening walks at Julian, the little town of Julian, famous for apple pie, about 30 miles away to the southeast here, where I go every evening to walk the dogs. And so what I started doing was, while we're walking through Julian, normally he would lunge at everybody. I began training him that if he's good, when we go past people, that he gets picked up and cuddled and good Rudy, good boy, lots of attention, which he very visibly really enjoys and appreciates. And it worked in very short order. I can practically walk through Julian after less than 2 or 3 days. I'd say 2 days of training, maybe less than a dozen and a half actual encounters with people. He's not lunging at people anymore. It worked. So now I'm going to really see how I can begin to leverage this into all kinds of things. Clearly, personal attention is what he wants. If he feels he's safe, if he feels that he's getting the reassurance that he needs, then he's trainable. This is huge. Now, don't tell my wife. I'm going to try to keep it a secret. And I'm going to try to get to the point where I can train him to behave in all circumstances. The key is, of course, that because he's so attached to me, I have to have him by me at my side all the time. So I think it's off to a good start. Yesterday was a huge success in that regard. I would call that an opportunity, not a challenge. There were really no challenges yesterday, although I did have one challenge. There was one. I was so busy yesterday with shopping, etc., and going to Julian, and etc., that I didn't get a chance to do my laps around the property. So by the time usually I do 10 laps around the property. It's about 5 miles. And then because it meanders and wanders around. But I didn't get a chance to do it. I got back late, and darkness was falling, but I decided I'm going to do it anyway. What's this guy doing? Speaking of bad behavior, what are you doing up on the counter? So I took off, I put the flashlight on this thing because of the rattlesnakes, and I walked the course. And boy, was it interesting. I found 2 desert toads hopping around in the brush out there. That was really interesting. And I discovered that the quail that I see on the property are nesting in the oak trees up there. And then I heard one big animal moving through the brush. Interesting. All right, as for the Good Life Creed, it consists of 8 objectives: to be always ready to die, to make good and effective use of time, to develop and maintain good and sound life principles, to cultivate good emotional reactions, to perform good actions, to recognize true limits and true opportunities, to do just one thing at a time, and do that thing slowly and deliberately and carefully, and to keep my balance, and to not sit on the stove. Certainly can't be the most sanitary thing. As for today, it's a Saturday. My day is going to be cleaning house. I usually have a talk with Yumiko, phone conversation with her on Saturday. We catch up on everything. So we'll have that hopefully very soon. And then I will I have some things I want to work on for the banking stuff for the retirement fund, and that's about it. And then Julian and more training, etc. Am I ready for death? I think so. My affairs are in order, my relationships are sound, and my life's work should be definitely complete. My daughter is grown and my book is written. I wish you all the best. Be safe, but not too safe. Say goodbye, Rudy. I mean, Ollie.